thieving bastards! Hell, just sitting out here, man. I live back yonder, and I just realized it's been a whole year already since I moved here. I moved here about this time, August, from Slab City, where I was for a couple of months, back down here, and I've already been here for a year. So I figured do an honest recap of this last year, and no editing, no script, just see what comes out. What, you know, sometimes I don't even remember stuff until I start talking and recapping. Beautiful place. First of all, this was a madhouse on this beach. The border wall to San Diego, the United States, is right there, the end of the beach. I don't know if you can see it that good. Not really going to do any camera work right now. But all the Hondurans came up, and the migrant crisis, quote unquote, happened. Yeah, it made life a little difficult. There's a lot of army checkpoints that went up, so traffic was, at a crawl coming in and out of the beach, which, yeah, the border wall is right there, but the nearest port of entry is, a few miles. And, yeah, it made it difficult. Now everything's really chill, and we're coming down to the end of summer. You can kind of feel the change in the air, and I had some hard struggles, man. We made some big changes this last year. Man, just working hard, and trying to make it fit, make it work. I notice that money is increasingly less valuable. Seems like inflation is still kind of climbing, I don't think it's really gotten to where it's gonna end up. Our money is increasingly less buying power. That's what I'm trying to say. As time goes on, we have less and less buying power with the dollars that we're used to. And my wages have gone up. As a professional climber, professional climbers average from $200 a day to $350 cash. And if you're a business owner and you have a very difficult large tree that maybe all needs to be roped down, or it might require some expertise climbing to get into it and do any sort of rigging, definitely running the big chainsaw with the 72-inch bar. It's about 5 feet tall. You're running that 50 to 100 feet off of the ground, cutting wood that big, a few inches over, where your buck strap is. So it definitely requires some expertise, and there is a big demand for it here in San Diego and California. So, that's what climbers average, and 150 was normal, and then it seemed like, guys start offering, come on out, man, I'll pay you 200 a day, or, now it's 250 and 300, and I'm noticing that even at $300 cash, that still really ain't shit, man. And of course, you don't do that every day. We used to, man. We used to. I used to work every single day. Like, there was people that had work. And so this last year, it slowed down. You work 3 or 4 days, you have off for 3 or 4 days. And it's worked out. This was a good move to Tijuana, because I have spent, so we moved down here to Tijuana. Should start with that. We're in Playas at Tijuana, the first beach at the border wall, bordering with California. And the reason I moved down here is because I started a tree business 5 years ago, and because of the internet, I have a very good reputation. I do what I say I'm going to do, and I work for reasonable prices. I don't lie to people. Honest. I stay fairly busy. And so that was a good change over this last year. Because out in Imperial County, El Centro, Brawley, Calexico, the Slabs, even Palm City, Palm Desert, there's not that much work. It's a much smaller population, much more difficult environment. So the money wasn't really there. Coincidentally, when we went out there, this was the year before last. I don't want to get off on that. I'm talking about this last year. But that was the reason we came back 1 year ago. Because I had started business, the calls were coming through. Coincidentally, it slowed down for 2 months while we were out there. Calls started coming in, I just kind of put them off. Yeah. Next week. Because I guess I felt like, I'm not going to burn that bridge. It's a good backup plan. And lo and behold, it didn't work out. There was enough calls to come back, and then it's been steady ever since. And we've been here where, dude, I pay $300. The average price for any of these places behind me, right on this boardwalk, this beach here, averages from $200 for studios on up to $500 if you have a large loft, maybe a 1-bedroom. I know some people that have little houses with a yard. You can pull 2 cars in, 2-story house, maybe 2.5 bedrooms, a bathroom upstairs, a half bathroom downstairs. They pay $500 a month on average. So it's enabled me to invest in myself. I've done a little bit of investing and trying to invest. Our family really continued to sacrifice all of our personal needs for the business, because at the end of the day, the business is what pays our bills, enables us to live and survive. Sometimes there's even a little increase. I did get another truck this last year. That was nothing but the Lord. It was given to me from a really good person I know. He pastors a church, very honest, dignified people. And he made me an incredible offer on the truck. And not luckily, but because of the grace of God, we were working, able to save money, and I had the money on deck. Been a couple things that I had to work out on the truck that have, kind of been just like the business, another source of money where we kind of have to neglect ourselves a little bit. It's like maybe we don't get that extra pair of sneakers, maybe we don't go out here or there, but it keeps the business running, and the business pays the bills. And what I've learned is that a lot of people will complain and give up when your business or whatever venture you're into, when there isn't an increase that month per se, like maybe you just survived, you just paid all your bills, everybody got paid for working every day, and you survived. We have a place, we have our truck, we have our gear, our pets, the kids get stuff, toys, boogie boards, like we got a kayak, little stuff, and we survived. We're here. And a lot of people I notice give up. I hear it said a lot. I'm not doing this just to survive. I want stuff. And that's all fine and good as long as you don't give up. Because I know some people that have given up, quit their business, and went back to work for somebody else. And at the end of the day, I've realized that, like, I was surviving, okay? And I did a lot of work and some jobs just to survive. But then that next week came, that call came, and because I paid the bill on the phone, and I had the phone, it's the same number, you know, you've had for fucking 15 years, because I survived, I was there to get that phone when it rang. And it was somebody had a $7,000 worth of work that wouldn't take me more than 6 or 7 days to do. Definitely wouldn't take me more than $1,000, $1,500 in payroll and equipment. And so, yeah, if I wouldn't have survived, I wouldn't have been there to answer the phone and be in business, be free. I'm not in a program. I'm not in a jail. I'm not in an institution. I didn't die. You survived, and you maintained your same number, your same integrity of work, same standard, honest. You were able to receive that blessing. So survival is important. I am doing this to survive, because your only other option is not surviving, giving up, going to work for somebody else, right? Or changing careers, or moving to another. I mean, I just noticed this last year that it takes time. Oh, we started breeding those KO Mannies. So I was trying to get snow leopards. Back in the 90s, I had some Siamese cats. I had a half Siamese cat. Beautiful little thing. She went into heat and took off. Came back, was pregnant, had a litter of kittens. I wasn't trying to do nothing. I didn't know nothing about nothing. I had a whole litter of perfect Siamese cats that people were asking me about and making offers. And then I started soliciting them and for sales and, you know, establishing a price. And I did well with that. And so, you know, we were struggling, having, you know, hard times. Work has slowed down. I noticed everybody that was working 5 or 6 days, it was like reduced. Even the fast, best guys I know are working 3 and 4 days, man. And sometimes they don't even have a climber. I know one guy, man, he was really big dude, gained a bunch of weight, never does any work. Well, now he lost a bunch of weight and he's out there working every day, you know, not every day, I say 2 or 3 days a week. And that was one of the top guys. So it slowed down a lot. And I said, well, let's do this cat thing. It worked well for me once before. And